Hello there. Welcome to another talk, podcast, meditation. And today's talk is called The Secret to My Success. It says movie review, but I don't think it's going to be much of a movie review. But the reason I chose this picture and this title, because the other day, I had a flashback in my mind to that, because I have seen that film, of when his friend in the picture here is telling him, don't consort to the suits. And that's kind of like symbolic of talking to or consorting with Decepticons or narcissists, and you have to be careful. And like, if you've seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about when he says, don't consort with them. And that's very symbolic of what I'm talking about. And and they're wearing black suits, and that can be symbolic of the dark forces. So it kind of relates what I'm talking about here. You can't consort. You have to train yourself to avoid these Decepticons, these narcissists. You might be a person listening to this that is you might be married, you might not be married, you might live with people or parents or whatever, and they might try and gang stalk you, they might try some Decepticonic stuff, and you don't know what to do. Well, it's got to be like in the film where his friend is saying, don't consort with the suits. These people are these suits. Black suit, it's a black system. It's a dark force that is controlling these people. And it's true, you can't consort with them. You're gonna have to. You have to consort with them at some point. You have to get the balance right between avoiding them, and when you have to interact, you have to be intelligent enough to be able to sway away from them, right? Because the Decepticons will they have all these different tricks up their sleeve, and they'll throw at you something that you're not expecting. And so you've got to get the balance right between avoidance and intellect. And these Decepticonic people, these black suits that I'm talking about, these dark ones, they are running rapid in this spiritual war that we're all going through. There is a spiritual war going on. That's exactly what's going on. And the black suits, the black ones, the dark spirits are agents. Humans I'm talking about. They are agents for the system. It's a bit like the movie The Matrix, a bit, where, you've got these Agent Smiths and the system has their own agents. And if you want to believe what Catholics say, You know, Catholic priests say that demonic entities die from Christ's love. That's why if you watch, you know, like possession films, when they show the cross, it's scared of the cross. It's because it's not scared of the cross. It's scared of the love of source. You know, Christ's love. And these entities feed off of fear, anxiety, and all those kind of low vibrational emotions. And like in this movie, you know, where in this movie, in this film here, he was trying to get up the ladder. You see? But this dark system doesn't want you getting up the ladder. Because it feeds off of fear and low vibrational emotions that are related to fear. So its whole agenda is to keep you stuck. And in this movie, you know, was all about a young guy, trying to get up the ladder. But imagine you are being blocked by these dark suits, these dark entities, and they want to keep you in low vibrations. You know, it's the same thing the Muslims talk about, the jinn, Catholics and Christians call it demons, Africans call it Wetiko consciousness. And they are these black suits, so that's why I chose this picture for this talk. And they are the ones that control, you know, humans lower down. Ultimately, the biggest fear is for them to lose their feed, because they're feeding off all this fear. You know, it's easy to spot someone who's being attacked demonically, is because they'll always be hungry. They'll turn. They'll switch up on you in a second. And when the next day, it'll be like nothing happened. You know, because in that moment they are being possessed. Right? And so if you're a person that's going through that, or you know people that are like that, then that's what's happening. Pay attention to them. What some Muslims say is that with the jinn that the person's face will change with the jinn. That might resonate for some people. But this thing that I'm talking about, it's real. And so look out for the signs. The reason I believe it's happening more now is obviously because of the awakening. I think it's because this dark force doesn't want to lose its feed. So the awakening is like an exorcism. And these entities don't want this awakening, because that means the end of their feed. You know, it might not be that easy to get a planet like this with low vibrational humans everywhere. You see what I mean? So that, I think it's something like that. But in regards to the black suits, i.e., you know, these narcissists, and you know, you have to train yourself to not consort, but also you might have to consort at some point. But always be aware that they can switch up on you at any time. And so you've got to gain spiritual maturity. That's the thing that's really going to keep you safe from these people. See what these people don't want. What the problem is, because they're so low on energy of their life force, because it's been taken from them. That's why they're always hungry. You know, they can't sit still. They've always got to be on their iPhone or something. They've got to distract themselves because they're looking for energy. That's why these people exist. In the 1960s, They didn't talk about narcissism really then, but they called it energy vampirism. Energy vampirism is really what this is, and the reason it's energy vampirism is because their energy is being taken from them. You see? And so what I think's going on just now, because I watch, videos and posts from other people, and it does appear to me that it seems like in the chosen ones, the people that have had these spiritual awakenings, are around people who are possessed, and they are like the suits in this film. And imagine this guy, his mate here, is like his higher self, and he's saying, "Don't consort." So it's like symbolic, and and so you have to become more introverted. Because these people are like zombies, like vampires. They're not the same. It's a bit like that movie also, End of Days. Remember when it's like, the devils came back and they're all like, they're all going crazy. That's another movie that was about the return of the devil. And the devil is not what they tell you it is. The devil is nothing to do with sex or anything like that. It's nothing. That sex is the core essence of who you are, life force, right? That's not the devil. But the devil might manipulate your perception of things like that. The devil's all about manipulation, narcissism, fear, insecurities, because that's the kind of energy it feeds off of. So a bit like in this movie, imagine, Michael J. Fox's friend here is your higher self, and you've got to listen to that higher self. You've got to become more introverted. You've got to not consort with the black suits, with these dark people. You see? Because, like I say, these people are lacking in energy, so they're going to try and take your energy. These people are going to take rage fits. And they'll blame you for it. They'll name call you. They'll do all sorts of tactics. So you've got to get the cross, but you've got to get the right balance between avoidance, like I keep saying, and your own intelligence. That's what it's true what I'm saying. That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with people that are low on energy. That's why they act like they do. Because they're trying to get their life force energy back. They know something's wrong, but they don't know what it is. It's that their energy is being taken from them by entities that they can't see or hear. Just because I don't know what this means, but science says that, I think they say that we only see from 0.005%. That's what our awareness picks up. And our eyes see only a little fraction of that, so we don't really know what's going on. But you can tune into your heart chakra, your higher self, your intuition, and let that lead you. And your intuition will guide you in the right way. But these dark suits that I'm talking about, these Decepticons, these narcissists, all their intent is to be deceptive. And what they're looking for unconsciously is your life force energy. That's what they want. And when you're triggered, they're feeding off that. They're getting a feed. So to stop it, you've got to not consort. But anyway, I'm just going to leave it there. Hope this video helped someone. This talk, this meditation, this podcast. For latest updates, talks, news, research, and much more, please do check my website at www.lovelightfamily.com.